pictures the lead. MTA from Kelvin Safety Song down the outside. Dom to shoot, but MTA lands the
is well clear of Beware. Juliana's running on when it's all over. And Exactamonte go to woe. Exactamonte
is charging home at the end, but Cuba's got a big lead from Criaderis, and Cuba's going to lead all the way. Cuba beat Criaderis by a length and a half.
Parody running on, Sovereign Award with 100 to go, getting weary. I Am Eloquent and Parody coming at her, but they won't get her. Sovereign Award won.
Hunters, deep dive time. We're getting pretty much near the end. I think we've had a really busy weekend. Obviously, it's a huge week coming up, but should we just start by talking about how wet tracks impacted our betting around the country and what it might have done to Moonee Valley over Friday and Saturday? It was just a really shitty weekend for weather, and it's just wrecked a couple of race mates. But, Kells, I'll start with you because you were probably most affected in that they actually called the races off up there.
Yeah, so the weather was sort of like coming from the west, heading towards the coast, where in Queensland a lot of the time those weather events happen on the coast. So it was absolutely poured rain in Toowoomba all day, and like notifications that I basically had sent, there'd be no early bets. You know, I'll head to the track at 11 o'clock and walk the track and reassess. I went to the track at 11 o'clock and it never stopped raining the whole time. So it was always just going to be wait and see. But the weather front was moving slowly. So it hadn't impacted Brisbane and wasn't looking like hitting Brisbane until sort of mid to late arvo. So I was able to have a couple of early bets there on, you know, knowing that the track would be okay. And, you know, fortunately enough, they did get to run those races in Brisbane and the Gold Coast. And we got the right result. And then, you know, it just started pouring down. You might have seen those images on social media, like the mounting yard at Doomben was like half a foot of water, and Gold Coast was just a washout as well. So I suppose the impact is just not pressing early at one meeting because it was raining before the start of the meeting, and you know, betting early in a couple of meetings because the rain wasn't going to get there till later. But it was reasonably predictable for a change here. Normally, you know, like I said, the weather in Queensland in the southeast as we head into summer sort of generated from that coast, and it's a bit hit and miss, but it was pretty consistent sort of on Saturday. So it wasn't as bad as what you guys and what those poor buggers trying to get that track sorted at Moonee Valley had to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Dicko, we'll talk about the Moonee Valley track because Friday, obviously, there was little rain. There was rain forecast initially. It didn't really eventuate to a great extent. Played very much on speed. Wasn't so much rails and run like it was on Saturday, but the inside two lanes, you know, especially that lane 2 in the straight at Moonee Valley on Friday was particularly good. And then obviously all the rain came Friday night into Saturday. It was just constant. So as a result, forward was heavily advantaged, rails was heavily advantaged, and you really needed to be in the first 2 lanes in the straight once more.
Yeah,
overall,
yeah, yes and no though. Like on Saturday, the 3 staying races they ran on.
Yeah, but I always believe that staying races aren't real races. Staying races for me matter a lot less in terms of track bias because it just, you know, they're slower horses. It's more about getting momentum and maintaining that throughout the run.
And also in both the staying races, the leaders went mad, which breaks them up and sets them up. Coincidentally, the leader of the Cox Plate was a stablemate to the winner. I don't know why or how Grand Slam was allowed to race in the Cox Plate. It might be dead off it. It might never win another race, this horse, because it had its heart broken in the Guineas. Its last 600 metres was that of a horse that doesn't get 600 metres. It did go really, really fast early. But there's just no way it was going to run a good race here. I marked it hundreds. It was awful. I think, did it run last? Might run last. I think that as hard as it is it's just hard weekend. It's hard to bet on. It'd be hard to ride on, to figure out what to do. Hard to train on. And really hard for Marty Sinan and the crew at Moonee Valley to figure out what to do. If they over-ordered it to get it softer on Friday night, it might have been fucked for Saturday. You know, we can't predict what riders will do. Imagine trying to predict what whichever god you believe in will do with precipitation.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a shit job! Is my screen orange, or is that just my goggles?
You are a bit orange, which could be the lack of. Well, hang on. No, now it's better again. You could just
What
have.
is going on?
It wouldn't put it past me.
It's one of those days.
As you're saying, though, I mean, there's a Moonee Valley track that takes longer to dry out between, say, it's a 500 to 200 or so, just before they go in towards the straight.
Well, you saw it like early on. They were kicking up everywhere, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about Saturday. Friday night was mad on pace, inside suited, except for the last race. But even Dirty Works snuck up the inside. The run Trekking had, impossible to win. Like if it had a one, enormous. And unfortunately for us, it didn't. It was a chop for us. I'm extremely frustrated by the weekend. We won, but small. I feel like I did the form like as good as I've ever done in my life, and I didn't win enough. And it pisses me off. But mad on pace Friday night, solid on pace Saturday. I think that the straight was firmer, a lot firmer, and the inside was real firm. And the actual like circle work was like a soft to a heavy. I'm sure of that. I might be wrong, and that's my opinion, and I'm going to review the races like that. I think it's proved like La Mexicana was gone. Jamie Carr is an outstanding rider, but she's not like a last 100. I'm going to dig this horse and it's going to find again rider. And La Mexicana still did. Didn't help that J Mott sat 4 wide on the other thing. Flying. Geez, there's a big gap between the best and the worst down here. But the fact that she was back on the inside on the more roady terrain and he was out in the softer stuff, I'm sure assisted La Mexicana to win the last. It's a really, really tricky situation what we had. Like, you know what horses you want to be with, but are they going to get the right runs? And then when sometimes I'm even finding the horses that get the like we backed Sound, which had the same sort of run as the Cox Plate winner, but got no luck and ran the second fastest last 200 metres of the day. Like I think if you're with me and you thought Sound could win that race, it's flying. It was a great run. It just got no luck at the right time, but it's going to happen when they're trying to jam rails in run and they're trying to be close to that speed.
Yep.
Speaking of, I don't know whether we'll probably touch on this. I didn't read the run sheet this morning.
I don't think we have one anymore.
With the
Do we?
Talking about greying up and not winning enough. How does 7 blokes get on a preview show on Thursday night and not determine Grand Slam setting it up for Dragonette or whatever its name is?
Oh yeah,
Sir Dragonette. How did we not fucking pick that up? And who the fuck had 200,000 on it 14 minutes before the race on the fair to halve its quote?
Well, that's probably the key thing, isn't it? I mean, it was relentless, sustained cash. And it must be said, Russian Camelot actually stayed pretty firm considering there was just this.
Oh,
mountain.
It's the biggest. It's a double like monster. Like for a horse to crunch from $14 to $7.50 in that period of time in a race with that much liquidity, and for the favourite to not budge, it's just as big a push for it.
Yeah,
we've backed Russian Camelot, and it's run fucking second.
Armory. Yeah.
After backing Sir Van Dyke, whatever it's called, to win the Caulfield Cup, it is just tortured here. I was so greyed up and felt like an absolute rock spider that I was considering sending a save late on the winner because it's just so much cash. I'm convinced that it is like the big Z-Man or someone of that stature because it's just all of us ants cannot move it like that in a Cox Plate. Some big dog just went, hey, guess what, guys? I'm going to take it all. I'm going to take it all the way down.
I was thinking the same thing, right? I was in a chat group with a few blokes, and I spoke to both of you guys about this. Is that like it was a couple of 100,000, roughly 15 minutes before the jump, right? Overall, it's not like 200 people having 1,000 on it.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
It's two blokes having like 100,000 on.
I know it's a bit
and it's going everywhere else too. They're betting on the totes. There's people seeing it. It's not just that 200,000. The money be everywhere. Oh fuck, huge, enormous, so scary. And then like, G Boss, and there was a tweet that we spoke about, curls from Mick Ryan, and it's spot on. Why Bossy rides Group 1 winners all the time. Well, as more often or as much as anyone else, considering Monday to Friday, he's not as good as the other riders. Because he doesn't give one fuck and plays high VAR pony riding. He's fearless. He doesn't care. He rides for pure luck. He's happy to be disappointed for a run, but he'd rather win than run like a brave 4th and 5th or 3rd. And he nailed it again. It was a great, great ride.
Great ride. Probably assisted by the stablemate going about 13.5 lengths quicker though.
Yeah, assisted by the stablemate going as fast as it went in the Caulfield Guineas, despite not staying in the Caulfield Guineas. Unbelievably. It just makes me sick.
Only a reward if you're not in on it. I'm not saying it's a reward. I'm just saying it was tactically brilliant, and the execution of the wagering was fucking like, you know, I was more excited by the execution of the wager that's what got me up and about and got me firm, than what I was like a bloke winning a race and celebrating over the line. I couldn't give a fuck about that. That's just another horse race.
Oh, and just also the slight like Bossy must have the biggest set. Like they'd be like a big pendulum. Those pills, like they'd be like 2 like kiwi fruits. That's how big they are, and they just dangle down there. I don't know how he sits on a horse, but the way he sat on it, just stood as he crossed the line. Like if we got on a horse today, you look like absolute like you're just scared shitless and look like a fool. Here's this bloke going as fast as they go, just stood up, frozen in time, freak.
And congratulations, congratulations to the stewards for fining him $1,000.
What do they fine Jai and Queensland?
I don't know.
I'm not sure he celebrated as he went across the line.
Well, he's got 3 weeks, given what they did to the 2 apprentices 2 months ago, 3 months ago at Caulfield. No, this is a Group 1. It's different.
Yeah. Just in terms of the betting, so Dragonet jumped $7.61 on the fair with 3.4 million matched. It's jumped $9.20 best.
That's a bit of an indictment, isn't it?
Yeah. So I suspect there might have been...
Must have been a bit slow away. No, it must have pinged the lids.
I think there might have been a bit of cash as well on the that came from the UK potentially on this race. Given that Armory also started $7.50, where its best tote was $8.90. I think the UK syndicate's probably got a hold of a few of these gallopers. That's just what I would imagine. But anyway, look, the race itself, how good do we think the winner is? What are we doing with him going forward? I mean, high tempo Cox Plates, I love them going forward into whichever races. I think the form usually stands up much better than the Caulfield Cup, which has been shit for years. Is that what we're thinking again this year?
Yeah, I think the horse will get better the further it goes. If they run fast in a Melbourne Cup, it's going to be suited. I think Russian Camelot is I've been big on it, but that's just because we've got to talk about racing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it is a fucking beast.
Yeah.
It's come home in like neutral splits off this suicide tempo on a heavy deck.
Ridiculous.
Like, and the mail is the horse like wanted to stop before the corner. And he asked it to keep going, and it just kept going. Like it's got the head of a champion. I think this horse is that's what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was its 8th start or 9th start ever.
Huge run.
And the money, the SP profile this horse is building. Fuck me.
Yeah. Arcadia Queen back. Not the greatest run of all time, almost knuckled at one point, still kept finding late. She just has to be a complete... If she's pulled up all right and hasn't suffered any ill effects from that, how does anything beat her next start unless there's like a serious contender?
Well, if it's on pace suited and Pike just goes to the back again, then she's always vulnerable. That's her one sort of chink in the armor, I think, is a racing pattern. But you'd expect at Flemington she's going to get every chance, and she's just a beast.
Yeah.
I thought we made the right decision to constantly bet around Pike. He rode one winner from the 2 days, and that was that absolute beast in. It's not called Beauty Bolt. Beauty Bolt's a horse that Cronenberg has.
Written Beauty.
That thing, he didn't even touch it.
Yeah. Handy 3-year-old.
Beast.
I got matched at like 2:30 in the run when he
snicked it and it over-raced.
Like, I thought snicking it was the winning move.
I think it could have started like 4 seconds after the rest of them and still won. They could have sat 6 wide and won. There
was one horse that I noticed on the replays in the Cox Plate, and I think it might have been more the ride that I noticed. The ride on Fierce Impact, I thought that was a ripper. Horses are going well. Like, does it drop back to that mile race and win again, or are they pushing on it, thinking it can be winning in this class at 2,000, which I've got a question mark on?
That's a fascinating point, you know. If it goes back to the mile, I think we're all sort of agreed where Chip's in.
Think so.
Stays at 2,000 versus, say, Arcadia Queen. I'd want to be with Arcadia Queen.
Because the horse looked like it's going well. I just thought it might have been a little bit flattered at the 2,000 on Saturday from like an absolutely brilliant ride. Don't know. Just thought that's one that'd be interesting to see which way they go with. I would be happy to push at them if it's in the mile.
What about Mugatu?
Yeah, it exceeded my expectation. I thought it ran really well.
Yeah. Monster performance.
Covered the most.
Clear PB. And we'll see that I think everyone's probably watched the replay a few times. It's obviously was wide throughout and still kept finding.
Yeah, there's a body.
I
think the runner. Sorry, here you go.
Sorry, I was going to say it'll be a deep form race. Like you both touched on earlier. A fast run Cox Plate. It'll be the race of the spring.
Yeah, I think that the 2 horses that were like the winner was blessed in run. It's a very good winner with a very good win. Credit to it, but it was blessed in run. I think the run of the race is Russian Camelot. I think Mugatu or Mugatu was maybe the next best performance. Then Arcadia Queen. Like Armory, I think maybe Armory's one pair too close and a bit wide, but it sort of had a very, very charmed run. Old Betty Mellon, though, got a little bit itchy, I thought, just before the corner.
I was sort of waiting for him to roll off the camber and back toward the inside.
Yeah.
The horse seemed to hold its line all the way around, like it was like an Olympic final where they've come around the corner and stayed in their lanes. I thought I'd sort of see him come down off that camber and, Bossy didn't have to change course. I thought because I was thinking at the time, Russian Camelot was there, Armory and Mugatu would sort of come off that camber and nothing would be able to get in between them or get through them. But they sort of held their line on I thought, sort of on the corner straightening. And like you say, Bossy didn't have to do a thing, just kept his line. And
I think it's maybe also the horse's first go to the Valley. I'm pretty sure Ben would have been happy to roll right in on top of him.
Yeah, I have no idea what. Yeah, that's what it just seemed to be.
I think I'm just watching the replay one again. I'd risk Fierce Impact at 2,000 again because it'd be so short. That's what I'm saying too. Like if it was, $15, I'd be betting, but I'd say it'd be almost be favourite, and I'd go around it. But back to a mile, it was going better than the winner, sort of through the corner.
All right, we'll leave the Cox Plate there. We'll go to the other Group 1 of the weekend. We'll drop back to Friday night with the Manikato. Hey, Doc. Too big, too strong.
Well done, Peter. Well done, Peter. I didn't listen to you. You sneaky little wizard. FYI, punters. Curly's back. Just sort of you can't keep a good man down. He's just kept throwing them, and now he's landed a bunch. Big winning week. But probably the best on ground for the mailbag this week. Is it Pistol? It is Curly, isn't it? It's Pistol. And I should have listened to you. Yeah, you're fucking flying. And you're not even just tipping winners at fucking Ascot and where was it yesterday? Northern. But you're also doing them at the Valley. So maybe we should all just tap out and just listen to Pistol, which I wouldn't mind tapping out in about 8 days. I'll stop. Stakes day.
You're not even going to last a Sandown?
Not unless they let me on the track.
Yeah.
It was, we discussed it. I'm pretty sure we discussed this horse Thursday night, didn't we?
Yeah, because Jacko liked it as well, so that gave me a bit more confidence. But it just looked like it was going to peak on the day, and it has for this prep. Not to the extent that I thought it might have, but it just seems to be following a very familiar pattern with the yard, the McAvoy team. It builds slowly through its preparation. It gets better with every run, and it's about trying to find when that peak platform is.
But it's only just got better. It's only improved by 0.2 of a length.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand, to be honest. Like,
it was just enough. Just enough.
I think the difference was that the horse is a beast and is seasoned and ready, like you're saying, and was suited by the honest, good tempo and wasn't exposed for like a lack of dynamic turn of foot.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Caulfield, like if someone just new to the game watches the Caulfield race where Dirty Workers just dropped him cold, wiped him like a dirty ass, and then they compare it to this race, what's the difference? Well, the difference is at Caulfield, the race went 3 lengths above the all average, which is very slow for the class, to the 600. And on Friday night, the race has gone 12.1 above the all average, which is fast for the class, to the 600. So all these horses are already exerting a lot more energy to keep up, and therefore they don't have as much turn of foot to finish that race off. Whereas Haydock is just cruising right. That's more in his sort of wheelhouse.
Yeah. If you go back through Haydock's record, the races that he's invariably lost or performed poorly in, so 8th at Moonee Valley, that was over 1,000 metres, so you can sort of scratch that. But 4th at Caulfield, slow tempo. Last prep, his final run, over 1,400, slow tempo. Prep before Flemington ran 8th, very slow tempo. Prep before that, 7th at Flemington, over 1,000, slow tempo. He invariably goes a lot better with fast tempo races.
I agree with you.
But
assisted too by Bella Vella and Pippi, who were probably the only 2 leaders on the night, apart from Pikesing that he held on to that didn't win, shitting their pants and going backwards dramatically. Like Pippi's gone an extra 200 metres, but has gone almost 7 lengths slower than she did like 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Bella Vella's reverted by 10 lengths.
Talk me through that from a non-Victorian form expert position. Jamie Carr, the pin-up girl of the sport at the moment, and
she will be for the next. As long as she sits on a horse, she will be the pin-up girl for this sport in the country.
Yeah. So, what do you make of the rides of those two, D Lane and J Carr, in this race?
Sweet. I backed them both and was happy in the run when I watched it live. You can probably go through now and bag them when you look at the sectionals, but I don't think that's fair on riders. In run, I was happy. I was happy as in run. I was like, perfect. She's got to the front. I was worried that she would like dog it and get like the sit outside Haydock or something. It's gone. Bella Vella's gone 2.4 lengths faster to the 600 than it went in the Moya. But that's like, it was a mad on pace, fast as fuck track. It's like she's going to have to go a little bit quicker to get that lead.
Especially from the gate too.
Yeah, she had to dig across. If we look at Pippi, what's she done? dirty little girl. She's gone 1.2 lengths faster. 1.2 lengths. It's fuck all. Yep. She's gone faster before. It's as far. It's almost as fast as she ever gone. But she had to go that fast. Like that, it was a fucking road on Friday night. Like it was. If they were on, if they're allowed to be honest, my opinion is, and I don't have anything to back this up other than my eye, I'd say it would have been called a firm 2. So, and if it was called a firm 2, the data would probably be slightly different. I'd probably gone about the same speed because they adjust the figures for the track for the going. Do they not, Peter?
Yeah, they do. They do. But we've also got to remember both Pippi and Bella Vella have not recorded fast wins over 1,200. They're 1,000 to 1,100 metre horses. Massive difference between running a fast tempo like Pippi did at over the 1,000 in the Moya and then going 1.2 lengths over 1,200.
Yeah. Right, Peter. You're right. You're right. You're articulating just elite sense that you possess. But at the same time, you're making me feel like a fucking idiot. So can you stop?
Yes.
What are you doing?
I agree with you, but like when you've watched 7 races where it's just fucking on pace and inside, what do you do here?
When
I priced a race, I had I repriced it half before the night started when the rain hadn't come, and I actually had McDonald's horse favourite.
Diamond Effort.
And Diamond Effort would have got the same run as Dirty Work, which was that was where you wanted to be. I think Diamond Effort, if it handled the track and they raced, would have got the Dirty Work run and won.
There's a couple of other horses I want to ask you about that I despise these horses in anything that's group, this sort of quality race is Brooklyn Hustle and Kementari.
Yeah, I think Brooklyn Hustle is just like a gift for plastics, isn't it? Like, it's run good again, so they can justify putting it in the market again.
Yeah,
it should not be racing at Moonee Valley. If I owned it, I wouldn't race there. It's stupid.
Ironically, it's the only place it's won so far.
Yeah, but if you go look at its profile, it's had 2 starts at Flemington, 3 starts at Caulfield.
Yeah.
It's winning at Moonee Valley because it's racing there 5 times as well in shit races. It's raced at Caulfield in a Group 2, a Group 1, and a Group 3. It's won at Moonee Valley. It's won 1 race, hasn't it? It's won 2 races at Moonee Valley. A 2-year-old race, like against it beat Yes, but like it's just a 2-year-old race. No one knew they were any good. And then it's won a benchmark 78.
Yeah, that was my point. I think.
Like it's racing in fucking good races at other tracks. That's why it's not winning them as well, because it's not that good. It's there or thereabouts, but it needs to have the perfect setup race where they go quick, that slow down enough that she can build into the race and she's close enough to run on top of them.
Yep. I thought Kementari would be suited to like a Rockhampton Newmarket or a Cleveland Bay handicap at Mackay.
Sorry, Kels, he's going across to Ascot.
Oh, that's good. He can start in the market there, and
he'll get beaten 40 lengths.
So he can go back. He can go back to Ascot, but you can't.
Yeah, he and Trekking are going across, which is great. Because Trekking SP
even failed. Can we geld you?
Just get a strapper's license.
I'm not sure I'm considered essential travel at any stage, but
what about if you were the partner of a rider? Like if you just announced that you're in love and she said it was really important that you're here with me for my mental health, and you said it would actually be good for mine too. I miss her so much. I want to be back with her.
Anyone in particular you toss up, Jack, just for like hypothetically?
Well, if I was betting man, which I am.
I reckon I'd get let back into the state and then barred from being on course if that was the case, in which case I'd rather stay here. I'm having a good time at the moment. How good's betting for a living?
JM.
Meanwhile,
J-Mac.
See what I have to work with. This is why we're not going to be on air after.
I told you you're going to have to edit today. If you edit this out, I promise I'll just do a video on Twitter, like a 30-second one, which will get 15 times the reach of this will. So you do you, brother.
Wow. He's hanging on to his last group of sanity, punters.
I used to say, finally back on the golf course this morning, I've got like this 5-wood that's just like it's like my stock. It's my stock club. It just goes. It either goes straight or it fades right. I've now got a proper draw. Put the first 2 pills into a house off the tee. Just allow for maximum fade though, right? Because it's the first time I've hit a go. I got rid of that net out the back because it was too hard with the grass and stuff. I put it down, so I've just been chipping. So I allowed for max fade. Haven't hit a golf ball hard for like 2 months, and then it's off that line. Then it's hooked into the house. Bang, same house. Bang. Like I was hoping like it wasn't like Billy Madison and he's coming. Not Billy Madison. Fuck. Happy Gilmore. Fuck. Anyway, but my chipping's elite, and I normally couldn't chip. I'd normally get the Texas wedge out from about like 35 meters off the green if it was like nothing in the way. So now I can't hit long sticks, but I can chip. So yeah, I don't know what's going on in my world, but nothing's good.
All right. Well, we didn't want to hear your life story, but let's talk about the Gold Cup, shall we? Because that has produced the biggest figures on the Cox Plate card. Miami bound.
Oh, well, this is relevant to what I was just saying. How confusing life is.
Yeah.
I had 3 messages. One from a very good friend who gambles a lot at all our shows, and 2 from what people who watch our shows I don't really know. All 3 of them back Miami bound because we keep saying on the shows, mainly me, that this horse must be going better than it looks if they're still racing it. And it's gone around at enormous odds and won. And I completely penned it. And now it's run the fucking biggest figure on the day.
Yep.
And it's got no weight in the Melbourne Cup. Like, can it win?
I wouldn't put it past it with the trainer.
Shared ambition, cross the line, similar to Steel Prince, who won the Geelong Cup convincingly, which is a proper form reference for the Melbourne Cup. This horse gave that thing, like, it wiped it bad, like, dropped it cold. Confusing.
Yeah. I'll just bring up its last couple of starts. It's been that's its 5th start for this prep. Race speed, even, very slow, on the weekend, very fast. Is that the difference? Is it as simple as that? It's finally found a race with tempo and it just, brought out the best in the horse?
And I think appreciates the softer track. But yeah. it has had a soft 5, like 3 back, but it had the heavy first up, but that was first up. But this is how hard this sport is. Like, first up, this horse was 2.6 lengths off Alsvin.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, what the... Now, it's going to be competitive in a Melbourne Cup. That's an enormous figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, just going back through through the history of the horse and its wins, like you said, like Pistol said, like, what was that? Like the Oaks, when it won the Oaks, it was a fast tempo, and it's just been able to maintain a strong gallop home. The same, I'm not sure whether strong gallop, same speed, but like even if you look back at its run 3 back at Moonee Valley, it's come home at the same speed. What it did 3 back is what it did last start. In the Oaks, it's just maintained that same last 600 off a much quicker tempo. So,
yes and no. It's come home. Like, say in that Moonee Valley race, 3 back on the soft, it's gone 2.1, 0.1, 0.9 above the all average. Then on Saturday, off this suicidal tempo, it's gone 0.4 above, 1 above, and then come home 2.9 last 200 above. Like, it's fucking exploded.
It's improved. It's improved off that. But what I'm saying is, it's not as if it hasn't done it before off of. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's just like that's it. It just needs to be on speed on fast tempos.
My theory on this horse, and Peter, you'll remember this when I say this, that it's just a psychopath. we were there obviously every day last year of the Flemington Carnival, and we had a really good result on this horse when it won the Wakeful on the Derby Day.
Yep.
And then on Oaks Day, it paraded completely differently. Do you remember this?
Yeah.
It didn't want to go out on the track, and then it wouldn't race. It wouldn't move. And then it pissed in the Oaks. I think this horse is just a nutcase with unlimited ability, and when it wants to put it together, which I'm tipping it shows them at home, it's doing all the things it normally does at home. It's got unlimited ability, which therefore makes the horse extremely scary in any race.
So it becomes a contender.
Oh, I think if it's soft on Tuesday, and it's going out that quickly and coming home that well, it's competitive in any race ever, anywhere.
All right. Last race I want to talk about from the Valley was the Crystal Mile. It's only 5 horses, but they've gone fast, despite the fact it was a small field. Homesman's just cleaned their clock late. I said clock.
It cut out here.
Grow up, Jack. All right, talk about the horse. Is he back? Must be.
Which horse is this?
Homesman.
Oh, well, this is... What a massive error by me. And I apologise to everyone who buys our stuff. And I appreciate you all, because there's a lot of you, and you're loyal, and I really do appreciate it. And I fucked up big time here. I marked this thing favourite from Major Chivalry, and it drifted, and I just got scared of it, and I thought there's no tempo in this race. Kingsville Dream's going to go forward or something. Did you guys see the money that came for Kingsville Dream?
Not particularly.
Oh, it hemorrhaged, mate. It hemorrhaged. And then Age of Chivalry in the last minute hemorrhaged and started favourite. Like, Age of Chivalry made sense to me because of the way the track was racing and 600-metre horse. But Kingsville Dream just made no sense to me, especially with them rods sitting on it, and it just confused me and graved me up, and I decided just to sit out. I had a huge overlay on Homesman, which I dogged, and I was really, really shitty about it. And now that I've thought about it again, shitty now. It's just like, he's the most consistent, best performed horse in this race. He was competitive in a Cox Plate this time last year. He was good first up, last preparation. He might have run, I'm looking now, 7th. Yeah, 7th. But that was behind like Tiako Shark, Very Elegant, Fierce Impact, Avilius. Like, he's a proper Group 1 horse. I did back him in run as soon as he hit the front. As soon as they settled and he was like leading the fence, I wanted to be with him. And you could get SP for the first portion of the race.
Yeah.
And like, they're all blowing up about the track pattern here, but
It's best horse.
It's not like it's a bad horse. It was like gifted by the way the track race. Like, if they wanted to be, they were all close enough on the corner to run over top of him.
Yeah.
Oh, the other two, Age of Chivalry and Kingsville Dream. And the way they back Kingsville Dream, you'd be fuming that it didn't run past it.
Yeah. All right. Very good. We'll wrap up Victoria there. Obviously, Bendigo Cup Wednesday, Valley Friday, Derby Day Saturday, and then it's all on.
It's a huge, a huge couple of, like a week, 2 weeks we're in for now. Thursday night will be the last live preview show we do for a little bit. Well, at least I will be. I want to really focus on getting everything spot on for the betting advice that we're going to provide to a lot of people over the carnival. We've got a good record in it, and I think we can. That's all that matters now, is winning. I don't want to get distracted by a stack of shows. Bendigo meeting's busy. It's a big meeting normally. There's a lot of ponies. The Valley meeting will have good opportunities at it, but then we've got to get ready for Derby Day, which is just the best day of racing anywhere every year. Then there's a lot of races, and there's a lot of shitty horses there on the Tuesday normally, so it takes a little bit longer to do the form. I just would like to get to the Thursday and the Saturday and not feel completely and utterly mentally drained like I normally do. So we'll do a Melbourne Cup preview show probably, because we should, but particularly if Drew decides to join us, I'll definitely do it. But outside that, that's what the go is.
The Valley meeting on Friday was widespread last year at 40s. Remember that? Yeah.
I was playing golf with a bloke this morning, and we were trying to remember what that horse was.
Yeah, widespread. Now with Chris Muntz, isn't he, Curls?
He is indeed.
Off the top of my head.
Just
he won first up at the Sunny Coast.
Rolled forward and sat outside lead, didn't he? Last year.
Yeah, he led, and just like.
Yeah. That was that's what we're talking about. It was you should have seen it, Curls. It was the fattest 24 hours of our lives.
Yeah.
Because we backed Barmy bound $8 heavily to knock off Vegas Jewel and that in the wake full. Might have been Nudge or something. Nudge on the Derby day as well. Back Warning to win the Derby. It was a fill up day. Fill up 24 hours. Hopefully it's similar again.
Yep. Starts again. We'll be providing your stuff as well as the Platinum Pack. We're doing 8 days, so you can actually be covered from Saturday to Saturday. It's on the website now. Don't go to the app. It's only on the website.
And sign up to the mailing list, and you'll see how everyone else performs all week. So it'll be fat this week, I assume, Peter.
Yeah, it's going to be huge week. Can't wait. Kels, let's talk about Queensland. There wasn't that much going on up there, but
Really,
you found something to talk about. Toowoomba.
Well, you got football. You got 2 football codes, 2 premiership winning footy teams going mad up there at the moment.
Yeah, well, bloody. I should cover that first, shouldn't I? Really, the Code Wars. You seen the look on Peter Volandi's face last night, where
Cam Smith said this is for Victoria.
He's So not only has PVL lost the Code Wars in racing, where the Victorian product is just lengths above the Sydney product during the spring this year, and then the Melbourne Storm beating Penrith in the Rugby League Grand Final.
But Jesus, didn't he try as if the stewards were involved to influence the result and keep the eyeballs on the screens to get you to watch those last few ads? Because that last try the second last try out in the corner.
No, Penrith's first try was a no try.
Most of them were no tries.
The one that was awarded a try to Penrith, where he kicked behind.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is a clear obstruction.
That's a no try. Anyway,
how did he get sent off? How did he get sent off for that? The first bloke to get sent off didn't even move off his line. Maybe a penalty, but to bin him,
professional foul was the call.
Move off his line.
I think it was overall. Overall, he's got his work cut out to improve that product because it's a very small market that product appeals to, and it's very Sydney centric, and it's going to implode on itself if he doesn't do something about it. The commentary was a disgrace. Gus Gould was a disgrace. When Cameron Smith scored that try,
he was like
Gus's
he's
heart ripped out of his chest.
Got home and seen his missus out the back with some other bloke. He was just shattered. And
anyway,
poor Joey and Freddie just don't know what to say because they don't want to pull him up. And the golden tonsils just rolls on. He's so immune to it. Oh,
Rabs, absolute legend.
And
even the quality of the halftime entertainment with Freddie's skits that included fart jokes and blokes on the it's your showpiece event, mate. Grow up, you blokes. Anyway, commiserations to PVL losing the Code Wars football and racing in 2020. But now we've got the Brisbane Lions and the Melbourne Storm on the Sunny and the Gold Coast. Seen a few Instagram stories of the Tigers celebrations yesterday. Jeez, it'd be a shit.
What about our man? Who was it? Who got a little special delivery just straight after the game over the fence? He was stiff not to win the norm. He was ironically he was racking them up throughout the game.
Literally
Aussies.
But in saying that, Dustin Martin, I know there's a fair bit of recency bias involved here, but 3 grand finals for 3 best on grounds is it's elite of the elite. Gives you goosebumps watching the best perform on the big stage.
I think it was his best, easily his best Norm Smith so far. He's probably got more to come. But the other ones, they were sort of downhill skiing against no one. They weren't
competitive.
They were never like sort of having to do too much as a club, as a team. Whereas they were down and out at stages there on Saturday night, and he literally like that. The natural talent about it, pick the pill up and just bang it on your boot and get it right there. Like fuck me.
Amazing, actually. So that was the highlight in Queensland, the grand final. They cut the races short because of the weather. No doubt was the best of the Brisbane runners, resuming from a spell run, the best figure of the day in a card that was cut in half due to the weather. My highlight from the weekend was Toowoomba, race 7, the last race. So you can roll the tape here. We're looking at number 1, Bestie. Now, I did send out to subscribers. Race 7, number 1, great price at $2, but you just cannot bet with that jockey on. So from the 600, the 2 roughies in the race had dropped out at this stage, and it was a 3-horse race, leader outside the leader, and she was sitting third, smoking the pipe, a big gap to the 4th horse. It was $2 into $1.70 on course. Rather than just take the easy option of coming 3 deep on the corner in front and circling the 2 in front of her and running away, she decides to go up the inside and never got a clear run at any stage on the straight. And I'm not bad at the self-deprecation. When I'm down, I give myself a fair whack, right? But when I'm up, I don't blow a lot of smoke up my own ass. But I'm going to take the opportunity here to blow a lot of smoke up my own ass and say this is why you cannot fucking bet in Queensland without a little bit of help.
Without you holding your hand.
Because
how do you feel at like 200? You just like
I was laughing. I was pissing myself laughing. Now, Tony and Madison Sears train this horse, and Madison's a lovely young girl, and like how she didn't just produce a pocket knife and go down there and start stabbing people in the bounding yard post race, I do not know. It was the worst ride I've possibly ever seen in the circumstances that presented, with only 2 horses in front of her. The other 2 had dropped out. I'm on $1.70 favourite. I'm going to go up the fence and hope for an inside run. People bet on this shit with actual money, like proper money that they earn, and then they wager on this type of product. It was.
What does Stuart's report say?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Read it. I want to hear it.
The race caller was brilliant. Anthony Collins. He had to bite his tongue.
What did he do?
There was a pause when they went across the line. Like, good grab wins from a Krakatoa option. Bestie third. Forget it ever went around. It was like a great ball. He captured it. He captured what everyone was feeling at the time. Where was it? So that was what, race 7?
Race 7. Bestie.
Tightened from room. Bestie was tightened for roomed and checked, leaving the 200. Georgina Cartwright was on the lead at a good grab, and she was actually found guilty of careless ringing. I'm assuming that should be riding. She permitted her mount to shift in at the point of the race, causing interference to Bestie. So, out of all this,
Roman, mate, he can't. What a bag of people can't spell, but like riders, a pretty simple one. Even I.
So, do you know? I like when jockeys sort of like she's Georgina Cartwright's on the leader. She's sort of half enticed the jockey to look inside for a run. You know, when jockeys sort of come half off the fence, then the ones behind them run that's not there, and then they just sort of close the gap gradually. Yeah. So the rider on Bestie has gone for a run that really wasn't there, shouldn't have gone there. But Georgina Cartwright on the leader, she's the one that's copped for careless riding charge, and she's copped 9 days.
Oh! Oh, controversy! Oh, where's gas and ramps where we need them?
Nothing else mentioned in the race. Now, I think we overlaid the replay here while I was carrying on. But like, if we've learnt nothing from this, if you don't buy my products or you just watch the previous show, please fucking learn from this. Can you just stick to the good jockeys? Have a look at the winning strike rates of jockeys in Brisbane and Queensland and factor that in, please, for your own mental health. Because there were some people in the betting ring on Saturday night where I swear that Toowoomba Turf Club probably should have shut the doors and called in a counsellor. It was the scenes were unbelievable.
So they were in on this horse.
Well, there's the trainers that were there, the stable hands were there, their money was on, and it's and I just like I said, I sent out to the subs, this thing should be winning, but we're not betting. That was the highlight of the weekend, I think, for me. Apart from while I'm on a roll, I've pat myself on the back. I sent 4 sets for 4 wins over 2 days of wagering, so I sort of feel like I've got my mojo back. And
you've definitely got it back. You're back. We're all back.
When you start feeling good and you just have a little peep in the calendar of what's coming up, fucking Bow Desert sticks its dirty little rotten head up. Saturday, there's a tab meeting at Bow Desert.
Just swerve it. Oh, fucking hell. What about the I feel like we copped a few bad rides at the Valley, but nothing like that.
Oh, look, that was just...
Why didn't he go forward on pass field? Remember that, Peter? Is Barker sweet from that yet?
Not yet. No. Don't mention the war.
I don't mind copping bad rides. That's part of racing, but like, it's just, there's bad rides and then there's just like complete mind fucks.
Yeah.
Things happen. But I'll tell you the frustration. I just want them to be better. You need to be better than that if you're riding at a provincial meeting.
Reach out, Jade.
We'll touch on Ascot for all of 18 seconds. MTA was the performance of the card in front of Dom DeShoot and Kelvin. There was some other horses that won races, and Northern Cup was run on a rails and run highway, won by Dance Music. That's all I got.
What about yesterday? Talk us through that thing that won yesterday that you tipped out.
Which one?
He backed 2 or 3.
Actually, there's 3 horses I want to ask you about. What was that first starter that was heavily backed? We've chimed in at a good price. The pink and white.
Oh, yeah. So Northern yesterday, as they were saying or suggesting it was on speed. It wasn't on speed. It was rails and run. There's a big difference between rails and run and on speed. Rails and run often plays on speed because the leader gets into a prime position first. But
except for Trade Storm, that was that outside lead.
It was the only horse that won off the fence all day. And it just got in front of Blazing Kazar, which was 150. So that's where it shows the difference of the rail. But Trade Storm doubled in price and won. We backed, it was a Western Empire. Is that what the name was? I can't remember. Yeah, all Bob's horses have the same name. Yeah, hemorrhage late. Didn't do anything, but completely unsuited versus the day. You can follow that going forward. Looks to have some level of ability. Probably goes around at $1.40 and wins next start. What were the other horse that you wanted to talk about?
Now, I don't know this horse, but does it do that? Pims Royale.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
What was that? Is it just like a mad horse or something?
It's a bit mad. Probably would appreciate a bit more tempo in the run, but I was looking for horses that would settle on the rail, and I thought, well, Pims Royale from gate 3, probably, better than...
It's favourite to find the fence.
Yeah.
Barrow 3.
Yeah, settled off the fence, worse in midfield, got flushed out to last on the turn, and never got clear air in the straight. And then in the last race, we backed asymmetric. I've sort of sniped away at some $9 and, opened 14, took some 9. Before I know it, it's $5.50. from gate 1, and then also had something on She's Got Merit, I think the name is. From gate 2, it sends it off the fence, and it's widest in the straight. You just can't help sometimes. Like, it's just staggering. So you're just another day in WA where you just try and do your best, and luckily we've been doing all right of late.
Been super.
Well, speaking of just another day, what about the good people at Betfair? In their infinite wisdom, when a journalist, Damien, who was on our show, who I keep getting accused of writing his story for him, which I didn't. With no interest in fast feeds, because I want to get out of this office as quickly as I can. But that's not the point. The point is that he wrote a story confirming what I talked about, which we lost our contract for. So how did Betfair respond to that? They uninvited him from their virtual event. Imagine that meeting. Imagine being a fly on the wall. How are we going to handle this? It's the journalist from The Age, one of the oldest publications in the country. Oh, what we'll do is we'll just uninvite him from our virtual Zoom event.
I thought it was.
You couldn't make it up. Like, oh fuck.
The only commentary that I'd like to make public about this whole situation is that I thought that the deafening silence from Betfair was like pretty poorly managed on the issue. There, you've made some. I'll call them accusations that you made. Right? You highlighted some in-play stuff. Now, it's not. I don't believe that it's Betfair's job to be the police of wagering outside of their own company. But I just sort of felt like that they should have come out and said, and because this is what happened, this is what we've led to believe has happened internally. They've investigated their staff accounts, and all that sort of stuff, and no one within their organisation had done anything wrong, right? But a few of the Betfair people had been copying a bit of shit on Twitter from, certain users. And I think Betfair had I think that they were basically should have come out and at least defended their own employees and say, we've looked internally, we've investigated the stuff that we can control. We can't find anything at our end. And they could have initiated contact with Racing Victoria and the other racing jurisdictions, and at least come out and said something about it. But they've elected to stay. They've got to protect their staff, number one, because they're getting accused of having
their brand and their product. Like, that's what's laughable for me is this guy has done their job for them, has only enhanced the integrity of the entire market and the industry. Again, they should be applauding him, not like. But the way they've reacted to that and to me is like that of someone who's got something to hide, not of like outstanding, glad that's been sorted out. Well, they should have. There's a lot of noise from people who make a lot of money off us in play betting, so probably know what they're doing. There's a lot of noise saying that there's something untoward happening. Can you please investigate this for us?
I've got no issue at all. Nothing but admiration for all the customer-facing staff at Betfair. They've been more than
love them.
Love the people, love the blokes, the guys and girls there. They've been more than helpful. Love the product, love the platform.
Not even just the customer-facing people. I love Dylan and Damo and J-Mac and Tort and Sam Miller and all those good people. They're all good people. This is like decisions that go way above them. Like to uninvite this bloke from an event for telling the truth, it's fucking weird.
Yeah, I just think it's been strangely handled, and there could have been a little bit more transparency, because it's not fair on those people at the Betfair staff that were copping a few of those accusations. So anyway, we'll eventually move on.
Oh,
certainly a discussing point, and I think I sat up on course on Saturday, and even during the day, once again monitoring those in-play markets, and off the Sky Channel feed on course, they were turning in play at the jump, and they were suspending at the post. So something.
Yeah, they've changed.
It's better.
They've changed it to back to what it was, but not spoken about it. I think they create like the problem by not speaking.
So thanks for bringing it up, Jack.
In the meantime, can you stop making sense, Ciurleo? Just go back to
Back playing my part.
Problem is they probably edit all that out, but
no. We've all lost the plot. We're all done. We might try and band together for one more deep dive. It probably depends on if young Werther wins the derby. I believe Jack Dickens is going to disappear to some unknown location.
I might take you with me for a bit of it. Ems is out of action, so.
Jeez.
I'll take my chances. The botanical gardens in Toowoomba are beautiful this time of year.
Well, I'll be honest with you. As soon as I can, I'm headed towards your neck of the woods. I want warmth. I want peace. I'd like to touch and see Curl instead of just talking to him on the phone and looking at his head on Zoom. Just imagine, even today I played golf. It looks sunny outside. If you're in office, you'd be like, oh, it's a fucking beautiful day outside. It's not. It's fucking windy and cold still. The sun's out, but it's windy and cold. Pollen everywhere. If you had hay fever, you'd be cast. I just want to be up in Queensland, sun on my back, beer in my hand, maybe have a cheeky little dart.
We have a few things coming up that could help you. If we can get, I'm not really politically, I don't really have a political persuasion, but if we can get Anastasia over the line in the state election, I think she's done such a good job with this board, as I think that she's going to have to let the punters come to Magic Million. Surely would be a chance. I think that's a great opportunity for a bit of touchy-feely sort of mailbag sessions.
Yeah, mailbag bonding session, like an Origin camp. Like the good old ones. But for the boys. And the girls. NFL male. She is that good at what she does. Unbelievable day again today.
Could have been an absolute complete
just all she can do is put the ball in the right areas and, just wait for that natural variation. And we almost got another complete fill up today. But overall, flying. Winning set this weekend again, but overall winning. And, the same game multis. If you could bet them in run, imagine the trade today. Fuck me. Anyway.
All right, guys. Thank you to you both. For
also, we should just mention. Sorry, but Cam Dean.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! His betting plays for the grand final. Who's the bagman who almost won the Normie?
Short.
Jaden Short.
Jaden Short. We're on Jaden Short at 100, and we're on Dusty. And he's got the margin, and he's got the outright. Just unbelievable betting from. Oh, freak.
Yeah. Strong year.
It's hard getting the unit amount right for AFL and NFL for me. Having enough on.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Thank you to you both. It's been a fun year. We'll possibly be back for a Cup Week review. If not, we'll be
might have to get to Festival Hall and get into some of that good honest God work. Maybe get you on a camera somewhere, Peter. That seems to be the go these days. We need a bit of Lord Jesus Christ in our life, and a big sort of cameo. That's what I want. That's how we get it.
You've got more chance of me running for Parliament, becoming a politician, and then being able to fly wherever the fuck I want to, because seemingly I'm then important enough to actually forget about the rest of humanity and worry about my own self. There's probably more chance of that happening than me going to church. I'm just going to put it out there. Sunday is for Sha-Tin and for Northam.
What if you found out that Jade was like a big believer, and that was what you had to do to sort of get that across the line?
Deal breakers. You got to have some level of standards.
Bullshit. You'd convert in an instant. Bye for now.